Operation Auction is set to off.
It's all about fast talk. He call himself making a name. I put on a jet, the coast regret even letting him stay humble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off. Fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Put in the gas. I will not crash. Honey yard dash. Honey yard dash. Honey yard dash. Honey yard dash. Honey yard dash.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready up. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Now Rudolph on first down. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Here we go. Come on, set.
First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
64.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. On 2nd and 9. Rudolph. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Rudolph. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. First carry now for Jordan Howard. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run it now out of the gun. This past the 50 and into Giant territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to work. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And they'll get this down to the 10. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double-team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, Swift. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. Now Wentz on third down. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Wentz to throw for it on fourth. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Dallas Goedert, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. And the Giants have got it. Does the big boy have the juice? He's at the 50. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, there's a blocked extra point. I remember playing, and we had one of those go against us. I remember our kicker and our holder told the head coach, just relax, coach. Why are you yelling? Don't worry, it's just 1 point. Oh, my. Those coaches see a point is gold to them because you never know how it's going to turn out later.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. First quarter, we'll see if this has any implications as the game goes on.
I still can't believe they told the head coach to relax.
Whoa. Bad move. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Well, a good productive run there on first down. He winds up getting 8. On 2nd and 12, Rudolph. That is incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it was really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well,
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second.
Pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Finds his tight end, Ingram. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 23 yards, the final tally. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. Ready to roll for the 2nd quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Rudolph. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Deshaun Hamilton, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and they're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley, and he will be very close to a first down. It means 4th down. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Running from the gun with Howard, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. 54's Mike. 54's Mike. Charlie. 54. Oh, yeah. The great 57. Here we go again. Here we go again. Mike's 5'4". Mike's 5'4". Mike's 5'4". 5.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. To throw again on 2nd down. Rudolph. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Here's Rudolph. It's brought in by Jackson. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. This quarterback now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. Rudolph. And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, That means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Mason Rudolph leading this offense out for their next possession. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. From the 27, Rudolph. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Giants on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Now Saquon Barkley, and he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A throw taken in by Hamilton. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Throwing again on second down. Rudolph. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And that is incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Wentz. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia! Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Marr now to add the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called a desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Rudolph on third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. He dumps it off to Barkley. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make this a second down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw again on second down. Rudolph. He's got his man. This is Jackson. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here's Michael Pilardi now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And this one's high, but not very far. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Hey, Echo!
A final shot before half for Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we reach halftime. We now proceed to the start of the second half. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, Wentz. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. Well, this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Giants touchdown. So hold the phone here, Charles. I'd kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, it's certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
Rosas good with the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They're right back out there after watching the fumble go the other way. Still in control of this game, but that needs to serve as a wake-up call because they're not in the clear yet.
No, the message should be clear that fortunes can change pretty quickly when you turn the ball over. You've got to take care of it, otherwise that lead could slip away quickly. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the gun on third down, wins. And that will be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
On 2nd and 7, Rudolph. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Back to throw, Rudolph. And this is going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Wentz. Open man, Arcega-Whiteside. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 19 yards that time for number 19.
46 down, man, 5-4.
They'll run on first down. Swift. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. To throw is Wentz. The quick slant caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
And this is what coaches talk about, never being satisfied. No matter what the lead, always trying to increase it. You never know what can happen in this NFL.
And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On the draw, this is Barkley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be a third and about 13.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
Second and 7 at the 41-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. Swift, and he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Out of the gun, this is Howard. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. And facing a very tough 3rd and 19 here after both of those running plays.
Mike 56, Mike 56. Too little, 55.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. That's exactly what happened on that play.
A little juke. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10.
Single.
They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
54, and we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
On 2nd and 7, Rudolph. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
You don't want no problems with me.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead.
Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely. Defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call, but how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dexter Lawrence. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Come on, let's go. Check 99. Check 99.
On third and long, it's Wentz. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Working from the gun, Wentz. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. It's caught inside the 25. 33 yards that time. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. To throw, it's Wentz. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Back at the 5-yard line now. 2nd and goal. Here's Wentz to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd and goal.
This goes to the goal line. You got to be very careful with the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from the coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
Well, they're going to try this thing. They're at the 5, 4th and goal. They're going to go for it. We'll see. Run, probably. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Carson Wentz with touchdown pass number 4 on the afternoon. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points. So they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down, it caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Here comes a 1st down throw from Rudolph. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set them back for second down.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Wentz. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Hey, Foxtrot. 56, Mike, 56, right there, 56.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. Some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of it. That's just who they are.
10 yards, good for a Giant first down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Rudolph looking to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Rudolph. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. And the Eagles with a dime look. 6 DBs on third down. Out of the gun, Rudolph. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Wentz now to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. 19 yards to pick up there. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Mike 56, Mike 56. So don't say nothing.
Wentz to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Now Wentz. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth.
Alpha. Right there. 54 Mike. You better be afraid of me.
Wentz going to go on fourth down. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it was a